This computer. Have you ever made a
Hey,
mistake?
I was about to start speaking. Sorry, what now?
Have you, have you ever made a mistake?
uh, let's see. We've both been married twice. So, yeah, I'm about to be a dad at 45. So,
Okay. All right. Have
yeah,
you have
big
you
ones, big ones.
yeah, big
Yeah.
ones, big ones. And if you live,
DUI, that was a big one.
yeah, that's a big one. I I assaulted a guy in front of a cop. That was a pretty big mistake.
Yeah, yeah, you do that once.
Yeah. I also almost got in a fight with a state cop last year. That's a pretty big mistake. They anyway, what we're saying is if you make mistakes on a regular basis, we're the podcast for you. Welcome.
There you go. Let us distract you for an hour as you slowly march towards death. It's Zig and Larry. Our topic.
Or in some cases, sprint towards it. And in some cases, cartwheel towards the edge of the cliff. That's what we're doing.
Let me do my cirrhosis mating call. There she goes.
You're the prettiest girl at dialysis. And don't let him tell you otherwise. Hey, we did go to the state fair this year, and guess what I didn't do?
Stay sober.
I did not correct. I did not stay sober. But I also did not almost fight a cop.
Good for you. Good for you. Don't do that. We learned that there will, even if you win in the short term,
There's,
even if,
yeah,
even if
yeah,
there are things like body armor, a club, a gun, a radio to call other armed men,
yeah,
and the law, they
yeah,
are allowed to put you in a big concrete room and leave you there for a while.
for a long time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like, what's the best case scenario? I get the best of the cop. I cuff him. He doesn't cuff me. I walk away. The worst case scenario, I get the cuffs on him, pull his gun to ensure my escape. And now I'm doing this podcast from an undisclosed location.
Even if you could pull off knocking him down, taking his cuffs off and cuffing him. Guess how that story doesn't end? And then I never heard about it again.
Exactly. Although, look at me. And if they were to say he's a stocky white guy with a beard and a shaved head,
Where was he? The state fair.
the Illinois State Fair, he was a corn-fed looking fucker, and he just kept saying, "Oops, a doodle, sorry about that, officer." Like that could be any 50 of one of these
Yes.
assholes.
So you've described everybody. So anybody who's at the state fair who wasn't a woman, a child, or one of the five black families who entered.
Great. There's 10 of them standing at the shoot the star out game right now going, I think this time I got it. I got it this time. Here's another 10.
Mortgage.
I give him a $10 bill every year. I get close every year. The guy looks at me and goes, pretty good, pretty good. You know how to do it. Nobody ever wins.
You got to shoot around it. You can't shoot through it. You shoot around like a circle. Yeah, it's still that is the way to do it, but it's still impossible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny. He loads it, he hands it to me. I pull up and I take the first shot, knowing that it's because you got to take an experiment shot to see where it hits,
Mm-hmm.
know how to shoot it because they're not accurate.
No. That's another thing. They're not designed to be.
And I went pop, and I was like, all right. And he's like, well, what you want to do? And I went, uh-huh. And I just and I start working around. And he was like,
Mm-hmm.
never mind, we may have done this time or two, huh? Yeah, Cletus, we're good. We're good. What I love about that guy is you pull back and he's like, it was close. I don't know. You want to pay more money to keep trying, or come on, just it's just $20 for a little, and just a little this, and we're like, no, we just wanted to play one game. This guy was just like, all right, hell, you know what, hell bells, go have a couple more beers, might steady your hand. Come on back after that. Hurt nothing.
$20 to play that fucking game?
It's 10.
Still.
It's $10. But like there was a dart game. It was like $5 for or $3 for a throw or whatever, but for 20 you can have this. And I'm like, no, I don't I don't want to do that. but thank you. She's like, okay, well, I'll give you one throw for free. I'll take the free throw. Gonna you're you talk a lot, which does trick my brain. I understand that. But no, I'm just gonna walk away now. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Stop. Please stop talking at me. Stop. I was pissed though. You know what game I know the trick to? I've got enough ass to do it. And it doesn't exist there anymore. And that is the ring the bell.
Oh, the sledgehammer game.
Huh? Yep. There's a trick to it.
It's you try to hit it like towards you
Yep,
for the most leverage, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Just you put as much ass in it behind because they have depending on it, they have like a button that they can hit that causes like a little on the thing as it goes up. But if you hit it just right and you give it all the ass that you got behind it, it you win. I mean, they can't pull any trickery on you.
Hmm.
But anytime that I've ever played that game, when I walk up, the guy just goes, just I even told one dude one night, I was like, just hand me the toy. I was like, I'll give you the money, hand me the toy. We'll both walk away. I won't give these kids any hope. And he's like, I gotta make you play. That's fine. I'll do it. But I'm gonna
Hold on, the Carney's supervisor is watching. Is that what he's trying to tell you?
he must I must be. It's the guy that has more of his teeth, not all of.
Yeah, okay, I'll play your game and I'll take the SpongeBob made in China that's full of sawdust. There you go with the hole in the ass.
Sawdust and some manner of egg that we can't. But yeah, State Fair was great though. It's so I took several pictures of testicles and sent them.
I was gonna say by the third time I got a picture of gigantic animal nuts, I figured you were having a real fun time.
Well, just figured tit for tat. I get Drew sends us his, and I get to send him equivalent.
Equivalent, equivalent being bovine, porcine, and whatever the fuck rams are.
Huge, I'll tell you. That's what.
Ample.
Like I didn't want to, but I kind of just wanted to pick one up and just see, just because I've castrated many animals, but it's before they get that big. It's normally it's when they're little and you get it done quick. Um, I'd feel bad trying to take the big swingers out of one of those fellas.
That's why you're not allowed to volunteer at the WAG Hotel anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing? Neutering them by the handful. Stop.
Holy shit. I'm just trying to help. You're not.
I gave him a melon baller, and all he's doing is ruining the hamster's day.
But so we
I told him it doesn't matter. They eat their young anyway. They don't give a shit.
we said, so what would you do with it? Well, we sent him down to the halfway house where all the pedophiles get housed. We figured we'd use his skills to stop a problem. That was.
And then we released them all into the creek.
Farewell.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, buddy, dropped the girl off yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not even a euphemism. The daughter goes to college.
The daughter goes to college. It's fine. I had my moment. She and I had our moment. It was, we're very, my daughter is a lot like me in that we got in there and she and I start working to put the room together and we're talking to her roommate and we're setting stuff up with the roommate. And if I'm task oriented, I'm not thinking about sad stuff. So, we're just working. And then got in the car. Like she and I had our little moment. And, both of us had a couple tears, but we are like, hey, I said some nice things to her. Like, hey, I know you're a girl, you got two brothers. And but I want you to know I love you more than 75% of what I love your brothers. But no, we had our moment. I did at one point though just pick her up and put her on my shoulder. I was like, well, let's go. And I was like, no, okay. you gotta stay. And then got into the car, because couldn't find a good radio station. So we get in the car, I hook up my phone, hit random, and Jason Isbell's song that he wrote for his daughter called Letting You Go was the first thing that came on.
Fuck you, Karma.
Yeah, and I sat and just bawled, just wept my stupid eyes out. And then got it together. I was like, all right. And I was like, it was like a minute of me just like, blah, let it go. Just let it all out. All right. And then it switches over to the acoustic version of Everlong, which is kind of Willow and I, like, that was one of the first Foo Fighters songs. She was like, Dad, I know you showed me Foo Fighters, but this is have you heard this version of it? And then, so we really kind of bonded over that. And so that comes on next. And I was just like, well, here we go again. I guess I'm just going to, man, all this sawdust in my vagina. It's really irritating.
I have a feeling that it may not have almost mattered what you heard. It would have triggered some manner of memory somewhere, or you would have been able to put those two together.
Oh, absolutely. It could have been Amos Moses, by Jerry Reed that came on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my baby.
I remember she played that one song once when she was puking in my shoe, and it's just I cried, child.
Yep, it's my baby girl child. Oh yeah, it could have been anything.
Dad drove back home crying, and Willow screams, "I'm free!" and ran around naked in her new dorm room.
Yep, correct. That's exact. Oh, thank God. Although we kept like, okay, we kept kind of testing the water. She's like, okay, well, can you help me with this real quick before you leave? Yep, sure can. And we're like, all right, we're gonna maybe try to sneak because we gotta go. We need to go. And so then she immediately, well, okay, well, can you help me with this real quick? Yep, we can help you with that. So we just kind of stuck around for a little bit long, just until we were like, all right, it's time, because her roommate came back and was like, oh, you guys are here. We were like, yep, and we're leaving. All right, that's our cue. But she's known her roommate. She went to school with her.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been buddies for years. They coordinated everything. So her roommate brought the refrigerator, and I bought the microwave. The girls, all I knew was that the like their color scheme were blues and grays.
The difference between the generations of boys and girls, the color scheme.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I have a lava lamp and a bong.
I brought a sword. You did what? You heard me. In case I turn into a Highlander.
I had a roommate first year. His name was Michael Jackson. He was a white guy. He smoked 2 packs of Reds a day. He made it a week, and then he just disappeared and never came back. And I didn't have a roommate the rest of freshman year.
I know, and that's why we hung out in your room.
It was great.
Yeah.
That I didn't care if you threw knives in there.
No, it was awesome. So Braylon brought the refrigerator. We brought the microwave.
Her name's Braylon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done several shows about that. Okay.
Perfectly matched. Both of them are retro. They're the same color.
Okay.
Couldn't have been happier. Couldn't have been more thrilled.
Right.
Like I was like, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
I was expecting to see a picture of the other half of the room where like it doesn't match or that it exploded or something.
No. Everything went really well. That's the
Well, nothing can be perfect. Sometimes there's no joke.
joke. Yeah, it's just Willow got blackout curtains for their room and then tried them out, and we're like, well, you're never going to wake up ever again. She's like, yeah, it's going to be real hard getting up for class. And I was like, it better not be. It not be. You get your little ass up out of that bed and you go to class, says the guy that flunked his freshman year because he did not go to class.
That's right.
That second semester was just me not going to class.
After a while, they catch on.
Yeah, they do. And then after a while after that, they really catch on that he's just not coming. Fuck it.
Yeah. That's in college when you realize, oh, it's not high school anymore. They're not calling anybody. They're just like, well, you don't, fuck you. We're done.
Yeah.
Is there any warning? We kind of did, but it's not really that kind of a thing. You're an adult now, so you may leave.
Yeah, you're yeah, to do it or don't. Fuck you.
Hmm.
Yeah, that 8 a.m. scene shop class, I never showed up for. Like, I never showed up for it. And I felt like Paul, our buddy Paulie, tried to get me out of bed to go to it. And at one point, I'm like, I haven't gone in a month. At this point, it just seems rude. He's like, they're asking about you. And I'm like, I bet they are.
My name's on a list that they gave to the guy. This is before the internet. It's just like, yeah.
They know where I live. I guess if they're that concerned, he's like, Paulie's like, they don't. That's not how it works, buddy. I guess not. No. Oh well, I guess I just not going to scene shop,
They invite you to leave.
which they did.
Mhm.
Which
I don't think I ever had an 8 a.m. class, period. I
that's
managed to avoid that like the plague. And then the thing, I was part of that pilot program with your gen eds where it was like very loosey goosey where your gen eds should be. I'm like, what are you studying? I'm like, anything that happens in the afternoon.
yeah, yeah. I hated 8 a.m. classes. I was not good at it because I what I got good at was drinking until 3 or 4 in the morning,
Mhm.
and so I got bad at 8 a.m. classes, and it really was though. Like when I showed up for the theater picnic, and everyone was like, "Oh, he is alive." I'm like, "Well, these professors know because I've gone to their classes. You people, they're like, who are you?" And I'm like, you don't care to know. Don't worry about it. I'm nobody.
They didn't really. I remember they didn't really explain the pilot program that I was part of for new gen eds and how they were going to do it. It was like 60 students, and by the time I was like a senior, I think I was pulled into somebody's office to find out like she was part of the program or something. I honestly never really understood it either. It was my guidance counselor had no idea what I was talking about half the time. So I know that I took Spanish, uh, a freshman level European history class, world religions, European and Eastern European religions, and then something else. Because that happened after lunch. And then I remember the woman saying something to me in Spanish, and I just went blank. Just like, I have no idea what that meant. And then she said, "What have you been studying?" And I told her, she's like, "That's what is that? Like Europe?" Yeah, my gen eds are focused on Europe. She's like, "That's kind of general." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm generally studying Europe."
I'm generally studying Europe.
She then called up my guidance counselor, who was, I believe, it was Nelson. He was like 5 years older than me. And then she got off the phone with him and was like, "Yeah, okay, you can go. Like, there was no hope for you, I don't think." She's like, "It's not his fault. Nobody's been watching." Okay, fine.
Oh, hmm. Well, glad I spent all the money on
Yep.
that.
No real world skills at all, then, huh? None? What's your degree in? Holy shit.
What's your degree in? It's in a holder somewhere in a box.
I don't even know where it is. I was actually one credit shy of graduating technically, and then Barry Pearson, the head of the department, just handed me my diploma when you're like doing your exit interviews. Like, "You're a credit shy." I'm like, "I am." Like Nelson never said that. He's like, "Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's find you a credit somewhere, shall we? You were in the musical, right? Yeah, that's 2 credits. Theater lab musical and theater lab main stage. Nobody's gonna check. It's fine. That's 2 credits. I'm not gonna make you do anything else." Thanks, Barry.
Glad you had a good experience with Barry. Barry and I did not get along well.
I didn't have any. He only knew me from seeing me in shows and around campus. Like I never had a. No, I took directing with him, directing one or something like that. But that was it.
Yeah, he didn't like me from his acting class because Joe and I got along fine. I can't remember Joe's last name, but he was professor. Thought I was great. Thought I was great. Barry hated me for acting. And stuck me with the worst scene partner that he could have. I mean, worst and also best because she was a minor and just doing it for funsies.
Oh yeah.
Um, but wanted to spend most of the time not studying lines, studying other things. Like she,
Correct.
yeah, it was. I'm trying to say. like I'm fooling my wife by using. She's listening to this. This girl, yeah, it was, and I mean, super duper. But at the same time, he was like, "I was counting on you to make sure that she did a good job." I'm like, then fucking pay me to do your job, fat boy. I'm not. That's
I'm 18. I've already shown you that I don't give a fuck, and she wanted to plow.
so. Ta-da!
Scene study, please.
Yeah, I thought you would help her. I did.
Mhm.
She helped me.
Don't her cheeks look rosy as fuck?
She's beautiful. Look at her. I've dolled her up. That's bad. That's
Dolled her up.
I don't know what that means.
I made her play dress up and slob my knob.
Isn't that in Streetcar Named Desire?
Stella, play dress up and slob my knob. Nobody remembers the ass out of that line.
No, they just want to remember the sweet parts. The sweet parts.
The sweet parts of Streetcar Named Desire.
Yes.
You know, the heartwarming, rapey stuff.
Yeah, that part.
That part.
Well, nope, I'm not going to bridge into that. How are you?
Yeah, speaking of what?
Nope. I was going to start, I was going to right at the sweet part, and then you added on, and now I'm like, we can't move on now.
What was the question?
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good. Maintaining a perfect blood alcohol content. I'm just gonna go hard charging for the next what is it? 5 weeks of my normal. Then starting October, it's sober October, where we're going cold turkey, because that's when at any point it could happen.
Sure. Okay.
Logically, I mean, obviously, it could start now, and then the whole thing would be a very horrible story. But she's due first week in November. We'll probably end up inducing earlier than that, but we'll see how it goes. We don't know yet. But if all of a sudden real or fake labor happens, say 4 weeks early or 3 weeks early, if Papa is shit faced for that, I don't think I'd ever forgive myself. So
Yeah.
we're sober October, starting October 1st. I can't remember the last time when
So that means I'll be drinking for 2.
yeah, she's eating for 2, you drink for 2. For 2 psyches, not 2 bodies, but not 2 livers, 2 psyches.
Yeah.
So
I got you, buddy.
I can't remember the last time I've been sober for a week, much less a month.
Now here's the thing. Nick, you're hearing this. I was going to try sober October this year. But Zig needs me, and I can't let him down. So it's for me, it's hungover October.
A more well-rounded friendship, the guy would say, "Let me support you by doing it with you." But I'm glad that's not us, because I'm not that guy.
No. If I were like, hey, let me also go sober with you, you'd be like, what the fuck? Why? Don't do that. Please help me out. Tell me what alcohol tastes like. Remind me what it's like when the demons are quiet.
Since when are we the friends that hold hands and go sit in the woods? Fuck off.
I mean, we've always been those guys, but
yeah, but we were drunk.
We were drunk, exactly. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Buddy. Hey, speaking of, there we go. That's a good bridge. Speaking of, Spliff Society.
.org. The purveyors of fine hand-rolled spliffs and the sponsors of the Zig and Larry Comedy Hour. Larry, what's a spliff?
I don't know. What's a spliff with you? Hey!
Wasn't a good joke when it was written 200 years ago. So they are fine artisan rolled, toasted palm leaf spliffs is their flagship, and you can put in whatever you want. Whatever kind of weed is legal or illegal in your area, whatever grows in your back garden. You can dry that out, break it up in one of the grinders that you can buy from them, and then put it in there and have a grand old time.
Back garden is your butthole.
You can grow mushrooms there, but not weed. So like if you're still cutting open Swisher Sweets,
really, that's dumb. Don't do that.
Don't do that. You're dumb. You're dumb.
You're dumb if you're doing that.
Why would you be giving your money to the people who make grape stogies?
Yeah, yeah, smoke those like a gentleman. Don't ruin them.
If you can buy two for 79 cents at a 7-Eleven, they're bad. Anyway, go to splitsociety.org and order yourself some. Order yourself some cones. I still don't even know the difference between a spliff and a cone is.
Oh, the spliff is heftier. The cone is lighter, and it's gonna enhance the flavors with flavors of its own. See, the toasted palm leaf has no flavor, so you're gonna actually get more of the flavor of your favorite herb that you are partaking of through the spliff. The cone adds a flavor and mixes well with whatever strain of herb that you've got. So, for instance, the goji berry cone is a sweeter smoke, very subtle but very nice, sweet, almost a fruity pebbles kind of a flavor. It's delicious, and it goes well with your favorite herb.
So it's shockingly similar to a grape Swisher Sweet, is what you're saying.
Not even close. Not even close. That grape Swisher Sweet tastes like perpetual virginity.
Oh,
That goji berry cone tastes like the fourth time you had sex.
I remember the first and the most recent. That's about it.
So spliffsociety.org, guys. Check them out. It's like fucking for your mouth.
I knew I should have been getting my mouth in there somewhere, but I couldn't figure out how. Oh, that's good. Use promo code Zig and Larry in all caps when you're doing checkout. See what happens. Pussy.
Yeah, you pussy. You want to fight, pussy? That's
Hold
actually
on. It's not funny yet. You got to do it for another 2 minutes, and then it's funny.
that's what I yell at my wife's crotch right before we have sex.
The only bruised vulva in 3 counties.
You want to fight, pussy? ah, stop that. Do not do that again. But it looked at me. It did not. It did not look at you. It said a crossword. No, that was a queef, and that was a compliment.
Also, if you can prove to us that you've ever used our YouTube channel, we will send you one albino Bengal tiger. That's right. We'll for everybody who can do it. Zig and Larry Ignore Topic as a YouTube channel. Just check it out or don't. You won't.
Sometimes I show pictures
Sometimes we will send you one albino, and we have a warehouse. So
of albino Bengal tigers.
live.
Not white tigers. They're albinos. They're weird looking.
Yeah, terrifying. Half of them are hairless.
Yeah, they will. They don't roar so much as they scream.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. They are all half hairless.
Half. Guess which half?
Regrettably, the top.
Oh yeah, yeah. Big furry balls, all naked on the top.
Where are they bald? The inside.
What? You'll see.
What?
Yep, and they just scream. They just scream.
They just scream.
They don't roar. They just scream, "Kill me!" And it's
go. They are a genetic mistake.
yeah. But we got a real good deal on a warehouse full, and so either prove to us that you're on the YouTube channel, or we have to light that thing on fire because are going back in there.
The whole reason why I moved to Florida is that maritime law does not count when doing genetics. So we can do a bunch of shit if you go far enough out to sea.
Which is we have done, and that's why all those barges burned down.
Yep. Because you can't take a barge out to open ocean. By the way, it's not not the ones we were using.
No, God, no. We had to. There was a lot of abandoned ship.
They were very Huck Finn, Mark Twainy kind of vehicles.
It was really just pallets strapped to large chunks of styrofoam. Tethered those together and put just a trolling motor on the front, and just so we could pull it along. Not great. Did not work great.
For the last time, you idiots, a trash barge is not made out of trash.
Huh. So anyway, we got recyclables. Can we that's 3 cans of Mountain Dew. And what is that? I don't know. Can't identify it. Just put it back. You know what? Why is it yelling?
Have you ever had a, speaking of which, have you ever had any flavor of Mountain Dew that wasn't just Mountain Dew flavor?
Oh yeah.
See, I just started a small because I never have, and I don't drink a whole lot of soda really, period, at
Yeah.
all, or pop or whatever you want to call it. But I used to drink Mountain Dew pretty exclusively in high school because smokes were $2, and the amount of money I got for my lunch money, which I still got lunch money in high school, which is interesting because I did no chores. But they used to give me just enough. I could give it to my older buddy who was 18 to get a pack of smokes, and I could afford one small bag of chips and a Mountain Dew, and that was lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've just started to branch out of how I've now had Code Red
Mhm.
and I've had Baja Blast. I believe there's several others.
Baja Blast is better out of the tap at Taco Bell. The
That's
bottle,
where I had it. That's where I had it.
yeah, that's good stuff. The bottled Baja Blast tastes and looks like Windex, so not a recommendation.
They're all weird colors. They all went way overboard on the dye. Um, Yellow dye number 4 doesn't need an exclamation part, afterwards. But they all taste bad. They all taste bad. They don't taste good. I don't know what are people doing? What have you done to things that you take something like a cola and make Mountain Dew Baja Blast? Which what flavor I didn't, since it was a it was a Taco Bell fucking cup. So what? And by the way, the food from there, I don't ever need that again either. But what flavor is it supposed to be? And you can't just say tropical.
I don't have a good answer.
Say just random melon. Was
Uh,
that the goal?
Menthol.
Mountain Dew, regular sugar free and menthol. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if Mountain Dew came out with a dip.
Oh, well, Mountain Dew, did you hear that? Pay us for our ideas.
There's probably already like a knee-high peach dip or something.
Skull Baja Blast.
Try it, pussy.
Try it, pussy. You want to fight? What? Why are you threatening me?
Who are you marketing this for? Veterans? No, I don't think you are.
Just people who ain't pussies. Does your truck sit way too high and you need a box to get up inside of it? Try new Skull Baja Blast. Pew pew pew.
That's the thing I've learned living down here. If your truck is that high that you can literally run over a woman in a fucking wheelchair and you don't see it happening or feel it, your truck's too big. Stupid. You don't require it.
Oh, I get really upset when I see people with giant trucks in town that you're like, you obviously don't do anything with this truck except drive around town and make loud noises to disturb people. Um, why are you doing this? You're not proving anything.
You don't require it to go to the fucking grocery store. And honestly, it's probably even more difficult to do so. You can't park the fucking thing anywhere. And now you have to lift all your bags up to tit height just to load them in anything,
Yeah.
including the bed.
Yep. Yeah. So it just stop.
The grocery getter does not need a big sign down the side that just says the Reaper, and on the fucking weekends you take it down to the tractor pull.
With a sticker that's from Monster Energy in the window and another sticker that says try that in a small town.
So I
What?
look at the guy driving that and say, sorry about your small balls, and then just drive away in my Hyundai Elantra because my pecker is huge.
I my the kids have now taken to windows down, windows up, doesn't matter. They see a truck like that, they just all look and in unison go, sorry about your weird penis. Maybe it's not tiny, maybe it's just fucked up. It may like maybe that dude's got a decent, like maybe he's got a decent crank, except for the twist in it, like except for maybe it looks at him every day, it's just looking up at him, and then there's a hit like an elbow in it or something, and it's just like Weird. Maybe it's got a stash. Maybe it's wears a monocle. We don't know.
It looks jaundiced. It's a weird yellow. It looks like an overwatered bamboo yellow.
Yeah, like like the urethra looks like it's constantly gasping for air. Why is it open so far? Stop it. It's rude. It's rude. Why is your penis mouth breathing?
When you pee, it should not be like a dump truck kind of thing. I do good for you if it doesn't take long. I mean, work with what you got, but just don't advertise it with your car payment.
Why does it look like it dribbles out of itself like an extra from The Ringer? That's a deep cut for some people.
That's a deep cut. Yeah, hold on. Give everybody time to Google that.
Yeah. Okay, you guys got it?
Just
Uh,
pause us. It's fine. Just pause us.
uh,
You might not find it on your first try. So just just pause us.
um, hey, do you want to know what the game is today?
Dude, I'll masturbate to anything.
That's the game.
That's why I was watching that new special about the American Gladiators on Netflix earlier.
So
It is mildly interesting if you're a child of the 90s, by the way.
sure, absolutely. I look forward to it.
We were in junior high when the American Gladiators came out, so we are definitely the prime audience at that point.
Absolutely. Yeah. Laser and phaser and taser and all the Azers. They had all the Azers.
They had all the Azers. There's all the just, and then there was Lace.
Mhm.
She always got her ass kicked, but I wasn't watching the show for that.
No, I didn't care if she won. She had already won. You know what I mean? She'd already won.
They still have a few of the people who who used to be. I haven't gotten deep enough into the miniseries yet, but I actually was watching it for a little bit. There's only like 3 or 4 of them. The Gemini, the black dude, he used to be an NFL player. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
But he's on there. The dude who played Nitro. There's a couple of, but they keep like referring to a bunch of these people in the past tense.
Oh no.
Like, how many of them? I want to find out how many of them are just straight up dead now.
But yes. Uh, all right. So here's the game.
Mhm,
Speaking of that was perfect. That was actually a perfect segue. Speaking of late 80s into the 90s,
mhm.
you and I grew up in an age of the video store
Yeah.
and a golden age of C and B grade movies that action movies specifically that went straight to video.
Straight to video. Yeah.
So here's what I'm gonna do, Zig. I'm gonna test your knowledge.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm going to give you the name of an actual movie and the star of that movie, and then I'm going to give you the name. So what I'll do is you'll get the name of a movie, the star of a movie, and then the name of a movie, star of a movie. You tell me which one's real and which one I made the fuck up.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna get it's gonna be one will be real, one will be fake in every round.
Yes.
Okay. I just realized, by the way, for the YouTube viewers, my shirt today is the color of Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Blast. That's Skull Baja Blast. Try it, pussy.
Correct.
It's got a little bit of meth in it.
It's kind of hard to get your Baja Blast through the Taco Bell drive-through when you drive one of them trucks. You got to bend down. Need one of them grabbers that I got from my pregnant wife for when she drops something.
Dropping that ass. All right.
She more just rolls over, but I mean, the effort is all you need.
Oh, I bet she's adorable though. I bet she's adorable being all because I know she's adorable when she's not pregnant, but I bet she's a real like I bet she's adorable.
Yeah, there's no sarcasm there, by the way.
No, none at all. There's no sarcasm. Like she's a cutie, but as a pregnant lady, I mean, because there's something about I've seen some ugly pregnant broads, not a fan, but your wife, she was cute to be because I remember I've seen some hot chicks that get pregnant and turn into some real wildebeests, but your wife, 100%, just adorable. All right, round one. I'm gonna give you the movie, the star, the movie, the star, or stars.
Okay.
First round. God's Vengeance, starring Billy Baldwin and Erica Alanik, or Trax, Traxx, starring Shadow Stevens. Which one's real?
Shadow Stevens.
Which one's real? Which one did I make up?
Oh God, hold on. Okay, so Billy Baldwin is a real person, as close as he can get. Not a successful.
Erica
Ver-
Alanik. She
uh,
was in Under Siege with Steven.
gotcha. Okay.
Chick.
Shadow Stevens was a announcer, wasn't he?
Mhm.
Wasn't he like he was like a voice? He was like an announcer of something, a show or something like a
Radio guy. They gave him his own show. He did. I
Shadow Stevens.
think he also produced Disco Duck.
What was the name of the first one with the Baldwin?
God's Vengeance.
I'm gonna say just because it's too weird. Late 80s, really nice. Tracks with two X's and Shadow Stevens was real.
You win this round.
Nice.
Well done. Well done.
It felt like almost it felt like a trick because like God's Vengeance, it's too perfect for this game to be real. You know what I mean? Like that could be something that they're making right now, as long as both those people are not coked out of their minds or dead.
Right. Absolutely. Right. You know what, listeners? Play along. Tell us how you did at zigandlarryignore a topic@gmail.com.
I feel like God's Vengeance with Billy Baldwin would literally just be like one of his older brothers just literally slapping him on camera for 90 minutes.
I'd watch Alec do that.
Alec, Billy, who are the lesser Baldwins? There's an Adam? Is there an Adam?
There is an Adam Baldwin, but he's no relation. He played Jane in Firefly and
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
All right, you ready for round two? Steven.
Hold on, I'm getting a hard on. Like I said, I'll masturbate to anything. How many Baldwins are there? I don't know.
Daniel.
Okay, yeah.
Daniel.
Daniel. There you go.
Yep.
Daniel, the one that looks like a Baldwin crossed with an eggplant.
Yes. Yeah. Cocaine will do that to you.
Daniel, okay. No, he's going to pop.
Yeah. He's hypertension come to life. All right, round two.
Okay.
The Taking of Beverly Hills, starring Ken Wall and Matt Frewer. Okay. Or They Took the School at Night, starring Tom Berenger. Play along at home, guys. Let us
Not sure if I know either of the people from the first offering.
I will give you Matt Frewer was Max Headroom.
Oh, okay. And the name of that movie was, you said?
The Taking of Beverly Hills.
The Taking of Beverly Hills, or They Took the School at Night?
Starring Tom Berenger.
Tom Berenger.
From movies such as The Substitute and Major League.
I am going to say They Took the School at Night is the false one.
Well done.
Ah!
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
All right.
I'm just trying to think straight to video. What's going to get people to take it off the Blockbuster shelves? Taking the School or Taking Beverly Hills? And which would Smith bring out? I don't know.
See, here's the thing. We did rent movies a lot out on the farm, but my uncle would record off HBO and then send us home with like boxes of VHS tapes full of action movies. And so I've seen a lot of these, and a lot of these aren't good. They're not good.
I used to get those too. A friend of my family's used to like record stuff off of HBO for us and send it home, which I was always interesting because they were usually, the first half of the VHS tape was Fraggle Rock. The second half was always George Carlin specials.
Perfect.
I like, oh, the second half's for your dad. I'm like, I watched the whole thing back to front. I thought it was a weird Saturday morning lineup, but I enjoyed it.
Man, Mr. Conductor saying fuck a lot. All right. All right. Here's the next one.
Mhm.
Wanted Dead or Alive, starring Rutger Hauer, or Royal Bounty, The Queen's Gambit, starring Roger Moore.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, the any of these that you've said could easily have been movies. Especially you've picked some very good people to star in for the genre. I am not basing this off any knowledge. I am basing this off of what do I think you would call a fake movie. That is my only strategy.
That is probably the best strategy, yes.
So these two were called what again?
Wanted Dead or Alive, starring Rutger Hauer,
Rutger Hauer.
or Royal Bounty, The Queen's Gambit, starring Roger Moore.
The Rutger Hauer flick is yours.
I'm sorry.
Damn it.
I all right. I've got to start keeping track. Hold on. You got that one. You got that one.
I got the first two right, this one wrong.
Yep, this one's me. I'm keeping score, I think. Wanted Dead or Alive is actually one of my favorite flicks growing up. Rutger Hauer plays a bounty hunter, but he's like a high level bounty hunter. But here's the problem: the Middle Eastern guys, like the terrorists, put a bounty out on him. So all these people are coming to try to kill him. Turns out, you come for the champ, you better expect to get a black eye, or you get this cool moment where he leads the main bad guy out with a he shoves a grenade in his mouth and he leads him out by the pin. So the bad guy, and he looks at his law enforcement connection and goes, contract for this guy, still dead or alive? And the FBI guy's like, yeah, man. He's still pointing the gun. And he's like, good. And he pulls the pin and walks away. And the guy's like, oh, oh. And then you watch, and it's this great movie moment where his head blows up, but his hair goes straight up and then comes back down. And then he walks up and he's like, you can send the check to my bank, or some cool, Rutger Hauer, and walks off in his cool trench coat and just like, and then the music plays because it's 80s, like Eric Clapton thumbing out some racist bullshit on a guitar or whatever.
See, I want partial credit for using my strategy because you did not come up with that. However, you just jizzed all over that. So
Yeah.
it is definitely a Larry Smith jam.
Yeah, it is. It's speaking of Larry Smith jam is just a jar of jizz. I apologize to anybody who bought that. I was drunk for a week and bored.
Mixing up a batch of Hill Jack Royal Jelly.
Just listening to Jerry Reed, looking at Daisy Duke. But both versions. All right.
Both versions.
Oh, when they redid it, Jessica Simpson was Daisy.
Oh yeah, for the movie.
And she was, y'all want to take a look at my undercarriage? Yes, I do. All right. Next round. Squad Commando, starring Steven Seagal, or Platoon Leader, starring Michael Dudikoff.
Oh fuck.
Of American Ninja fame.
Yeah, no. Okay, those are both real. There's no way in hell that those both don't exist somewhere on Betamax, dubbed in Korean. I'm gonna say you picked the one you made up. You made up a Steven Seagal movie.
I did.
That was a very good round because you can call it, say any two words like that featuring Steven Seagal because he made anything, and he's a huge piece of shit. So he could that very easily could have been a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you just like take two titles of two of his shitty movies and just like mash them up? Because that would have worked too.
No, I workshopped it. I workshopped it quite a bit, and because my buddy Jeremy Plum and his fiance Nicole are staying with us for a couple days. He came up
Mhm.
and did the show Friday night, and so they're hanging out. And so he got up and was like, "Oh, what are we doing?" And so I had him and my Nicole helping me like workshop titles.
Nice. See, I'm almost positive that I saw that Dudikoff movie because American Ninja was one of my favorites. One of my favorites
Absolutely.
as a kid. 100%.
All right, buddy. We're gonna have to get. I've got okay. Our time. I
Hmm.
riff, but I also want to make sure that you've got because I know you got a hard out. So
Yeah,
but you also got a hard in, and
there it is. There it was.
you are having a baby, and you have to go interview a witch doctor.
Correct.
All right. Next round. Ready for action. Starring Eric Roberts and Greg the Hammer Valentine, or Tough and Deadly, starring Billy Blanks and Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Tough and Deadly is not correct.
Are you saying that's the?
Tough and Deadly is you.
I'm sorry, Tough and
No. Oh no, it's not. What was the first one you said?
Ready for Action, starring Eric Roberts and Greg.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Nope.
Now I'm just inventing memories because I could have sworn I saw that movie.
Uh, you probably did. It just wasn't.
I could have sworn I was like 10 and I saw that fucking movie. What am I thinking of?
I don't. Best of the Best, starring Eric Roberts and James Earl Jones
What
and
the fuck am I thinking of?
Sean Penn or Chris Penn. Excuse me, Chris
Chris
Penn.
Penn. Also the puffiest of the pens. And still, well, now he's the most
Emaciated, most likely.
skinny. Shit! I was positive I've seen that movie. God damn it!
But if I want to see that movie now.
Fuck. Was Greg Valentine? I remember Greg the Hammer Valentine was a fucking wrestler, and he was in because they were putting wrestlers in every piece of shit movie back then.
Well, and you'll notice I'm trying to throw you off by making every title very similar and adding similar stars.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it's not a throwaway. Now I'm just scared that half of my memories are completely made up.
We know that they are. Or I keep reminding you of what your memories are.
Well, yeah, but no, that's different. That's you gaslighting me. This is something that never would have come up in polite society, and I'm just like, oh yeah, no, I've seen that Eric Roberts movie. Oh, you
Actually,
didn't?
all right. Next round. Satan's Warrior, starring Gary Busey, or Immortal Kombat, starring Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Ooh.
Satan's Warrior, Gary Busey, Immortal Kombat, Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Rowdy Roddy Piper, who recently passed away, I believe.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Fairly recently. Ta, 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 ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. I'm gonna say Immortal Kombat is. Immortal Kombat is the made up one. That's a guess.
That is the real one.
Ah, damn! I was doing so well. I was 2 for 2, and then everything went to shit.
At 2 for 2, then yeah, we're
I'm,
really tied right now. We're tied. I've beaten you 3. You've gotten 3.
oh,
That's
so the
what
Gary Busey movie is not
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 real.
real.
Yeah, to him it is. To us, no.
Let's find his people. Let's do a quick treatment. Let's pitch it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh man, I would. Oh, and
I'd
then
pay real money just to hang out with that lunatic for a fucking couple of weeks. Oh yeah.
so and then it's not a real movie, but it's a documentary about making a movie with Gary.
Did you ever see that old show? I think it's about 15 years old now, just called I'm with Busey. I think it was on MTV or something.
Yes.
It was supposed to be a scripted reality show of a guy just hanging out with him, trying to make a show about him, and it just went off the rails because Busey is so fucking crazy now. Like you don't script him literally throwing machetes at a man's feet and having it bounce at him. Like Jesus Christ!
Stop it.
You see what I'm teaching you about the curvature of the Earth? No.
Fucking Busey.
Lunatic.
What happened to your arm? Fucking Busey. I'm gonna start blaming. I feel like we just need to blame Gary Busey for everything.
Oh God, we should do a whole Gary Busey fucking month. That'd be great. How just go down that rabbit hole of just Busey.
Ooh, I mean October. You're gonna have some time on your hands.
Yeah.
All right. Russian Wind, starring Dolph Lundgren and Tia Carrera, or Invasion USA, starring Chuck Norris. Norris. What I'm gonna say, Chuck Norrison.
I'm gonna say that the Dolph Lundgren and Tia Carrera movie is real only because I want it to be.
Sorry, Invasion USA is a real one.
Damn it! Because I've already seen. I mean, I got nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with Chuck Norris, but I've already seen all the Norris I ever seen them I need to see. But if there's an old movie with Tia Carrera before things got real weird, that's sound. That's and I can tell that that's a goddamn high life just from the top of the can in your koozie. That's a skill I shouldn't have. I met Tia Carrera about 5, 6 years ago.
Oh yeah,
She came into the steakhouse that I was working at. Yeah,
that wasn't.
met's a big word. Like I said, I'll masturbate to anything. I just would not. I touched myself over the ice well. If you drank in my bar that evening and got anything from a server, I apologize, and you can name it Adam.
And I have
Mhm.
the herpes. All right.
Oh, that's now I'm just disappointed because I wanted that to be a movie. I should have picked Chuck Norris, but still, I just dreamers got a dream, buddy.
Absolutely they do, buddy. All right. Death's Calendar, starring Michael Biehn, or 3 Days to a Kill, starring Fred Williamson.
Oh, those are both equally shitty titles.
Yeah, thank you.
Death's Calendar, 3 Days to a Kill. Now, I don't really know the performers out of this one, so that's not going to help.
Michael Biehn is Johnny Ringo from Tombstone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and uh, original Terminator. He was the good guy.
Mm-hmm. In which case, the Mike Bean flick is fake.
You got it. You got it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We'd be mad at you.
Mm.
Yeah, 3 Days to a Kill, starring Fred Williamson. Check it out. Next round. We're getting low on time, and we've got 2, 3, 4 rounds left. 4 rounds.
Okay. Well, we got. I'm gonna have to put a stop on this here pretty quick.
I know.
Okay, we'll rapid fire. Rapid fire 4.
Iranian Night Squad, starring Bill Paxton, or Nom Angels, starring Brad John.
What the fuck? Okay, so Nom Angels is true.
It is. It is.
Because nobody knew what Iran was in the 90s yet. They weren't bad guys yet.
No, yeah, in the 80s, Iran was like one of our big. It was in the 90s and into the 2000s that it became Afghanistan and Iraq.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Wasn't the Iron Sheik supposed to be Iranian?
I believe so.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, okay.
So Sheik is a better patriot than Hulk Hogan. Fight me, you jabronis.
Featuring Rucker Howard. Or
okay, here's the next round. China O'Brien, starring Cynthia Rothrock, or Riley O'Chin, starring Jackie Chan.
Riley O'Chin starring Jackie Chan is not correct.
Correct. Yes.
That was kind of a gimme.
It might be a little on the nose. But giggle the fuck out of myself.
Because I'm almost positive I've seen the Cynthia Rock movie because I know that. Well, shit. Now I don't even trust my own memory, but that seems like something I've seen.
Yeah, yeah,
China O'Brien. Did she have like short blonde hair?
yeah. She did.
Yeah, I think I've seen it. Okay.
Yeah, and then big old thick thighs. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Cynthia.
Yeah.
Um, I was 8 and I started puberty the first time I watched her. I don't know why I like that. Okay.
All the stuntmen had very skinny heads by the end of that shooting.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That's not a good joke.
Well, not a good joke, but it's a great fantasy. Qualified Immunity, starring Treat Williams, Alec Guinness, Keith David, and Jonathan Brandis, or Excessive Force, starring Thomas Ian Griffith, James Earl Jones, Lance Henriksen, and Tony Todd.
Oh, that one's good. That one's good. Some thought went into that. Uh, who would make a good cast? I'm gonna say James Earl Jones did not star in that movie. That it never existed.
That is the real one. Excessive Force,
Oof.
starring Thomas Ian Griffith, who is Terry Silver from the Karate Kid universe.
Damn.
Last one.
Mm-hmm.
Busted Nose, starring Martin and Lou Diamond Phillips.
Almost positive you were about to say nut. Sorry.
Ruined Khakis, starring Treat Williams.
Cynthia Rothrock.
Busted Nose, starring Martin Cove and Lou Diamond Phillips, or Blood Fist, starring Don the Dragon Wilson and Billy Blanks.
Blood Fist is true.
Blood Fist is the right one.
I think I've seen that one too. So out of all of these, I'm positive-ish that I've seen 3, and one of them doesn't exist.
I would like to point out that Blood Fist has it's Blood Fist 1 through 8, starring Don the Dragon Wilson. Blood Fist, turns out, I feel like Blood Fist walked so that Fast and Furious could fly a car into space. All right, buddy, what did we learn today?
Uh, we learned that not only am I drinking away memories, I'm drinking some in.
And isn't that what life's all about?
See, but the thing is that with those kind of titles and that smattering of stars, my brain could easily just be mashing up 5 or 6 different schlock movies into one scene.
100%.
Yeah, it's like this is why you can't take eyewitness testimony from a hit and run because it's no, you're just like there's too much stuff in there. You didn't. It all happened so fast. You're not reliable. It's not your fault. I know you're doing your best, but you're not reliable. It's not on purpose. But for some reason, Cynthia Rothrock and China O'Brien, I'm like, oh, I've seen that.
I know that one. I know that one.
You said that, and for some reason, I just remember it. It must have just kicked something in, like you said, in my 8-year-old brain. I just remember her short blonde hair with the goddamn dark roots, some manner of skin tight red pants, and her doing a sidekick. And me going, yep. And they put the camera down at that angle for a reason.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Hey guys, it's a wrap. I think we got a winner on our hands here. So what learned today, buddy? Wait, we just went through that.
Yeah, what about you?
I learned that maybe I shouldn't start drinking at 11:30 a.m.
That's beer.
No, you that pint glass was full of that was full of Nicole Sylvester level cocktail.
Nice.
I asked her, I was like, "Hey, I'm running out of time. Can you throw a cocktail together for me and grab me a beer?" And she's like, "I got you, sweetheart." And when I took a sip of that pint glass, I don't know, she saw me right when we sat down and started going over, pre-show. I took 2 sips out of it, and each time made me go, "Hey, I had a spasm. I had an epileptic seizure every time I took a sip." So what I learned is that my wife loves me. It's me to be happy, And I also learned that I could have been a movie executive in the 80s real easy.
All it takes is two comics, a handful of booze, and a couch, and you can come up with a cast and a title. Several of them in the span of an evening.
Yeah. Yep. And just, hey, what are they going to be good? No. Are they going to make us money? Yes. Yeah, absolutely they are. Because we're going to pay everyone poorly. And we're just gonna fucking make money. Is what we're gonna do, because it's quantity over quality here, fellas. That's what we do. Same philosophy with our podcast. Quantity over. We're gonna put out a lot of shows, and three of them a year are gonna be really good. And
Mhm. Absolutely. Join us next week when we are producing Bullets for Hire, starring that let's just say that asshole from the 90s who can do the splits in the air.
uh, R- Richard Grieco and Jean Claude Van Damme
Correct. Bullets for Hire. Richard Grieco and Jean Claude Van Damme. And one of the chicks who was an extra from Baywatch.
and Yasmin Bleeth.
And Yasmin Bleeth as, let's say, the president.
I was gonna say as the commissioner, but I'll take president.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, pal. Guess what?
What's that, bud?
I love you.
I love you back.